make sure that's going. All right, that looks good. So for the interview, I'm going to ask the questions, and I want you to talk as much as you feel adequate for the question. I may ask a little bit more for clarity, but otherwise I'm going to stick pretty close to our questions.
Yes. Okie dokie.
So the first question is intentionally broad. So the first question is, ideally, what would you like your teacher candidates to learn and know when they complete your program?
All of the things, or just in terms of our topic?
All the things.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. It is broad.
You're not kidding. Okay. Well, where to begin? I think I want them to know about the big picture of education in society and the foundations that have preceded us in this country, especially in terms of politics and philosophy and social order and cultural values and beliefs and laws. I think I meant that as far as politics, the laws and the governance, and the institution of public education as it has grown, and the way that history, philosophy, socioeconomics, laws, and values are conveyed over time and then present themselves in public schools. So that sort of foundational knowledge would be one factor. Then to base the rest of teacher education on as we look at what could be improved and how we could make schools more responsive to all of our children, their families, and communities. So with that as a foundation, I think then we could teach the skills involved in educating all the diverse students we have, so the curriculum design and development, teaching strategies, different methods for different content areas and different kinds of learners, and then how to assess that students have learned. And then I think that I believe that learning about students whose backgrounds are different than teachers' backgrounds would be another big portion of the education, helping students understand and know how to meet the needs of diverse students. And so I think right away we would want to start with learning about themselves and their identities as teachers and developing their teacher professionalism and identity and their personal cultural values, beliefs, and backgrounds. And once I still have a sort of developmental overview of even adult learning, that they need to learn about themselves first and then move into learning about people different than themselves. So that would include different ethnicities and religions and nationalities and identities that are different from their own, including students having special needs and students who are learning English. So I would want that sort of diversity coursework to be a thread throughout all the coursework. And then I would expect to develop the knowledge in the content areas they'll be teaching, to develop the skills for how to teach, and to develop the dispositions for professionalism in meeting the needs of all their learners. So I would hope that when they leave after they've done their student teaching, which would be putting the theories and ideals into practice, I would hope that they could know themselves, know their students, recognize the importance and the value of knowing their students' families and the communities and cultures from which they come, and be able to tailor what they teach to their learners. Learners first, I think, is a key to our program. So let's see. I would like them to learn that knowledge and those skills here, and know how to enact them when they leave our program.
Great, thank you. So as we move through questions, you kind of touched on a few of them.
I did, but we can elaborate.
Yes, that's what I was hoping for. All right, so the second one is, how do you decide what gets taught within your program, and who is part of the decision-making process?
Yes. So we are informed, of course, by TSPC and the standards that are adopted for teacher proficiency in the first place. We are also informed by our professional knowledge and backgrounds, and in terms of teaching and learning, and how to best promote that and convey that and work with our pre-service teachers to become skilled at that. And I think we're also informed by the literature we read, and staying current in educational research, and reading the journal articles and reading the studies, and staying informed on current events, and kind of reading the pulse of the public. All those things come into play. The Common Core standards that are taught in the schools also inform what we teach, because we want our teachers to be able to do the deeper thinking and critical thinking and analysis that's required by the Common Core. So in order to teach their students the knowledge and skills and attitudes necessary, we need to design our program to meet the needs of content area standards, teaching standards, and students' standards for the content areas. So there's a lot of brilliant people, and lots of knowledge out there that we somehow have to collect and use to guide our programmatic decisions about which courses to teach. And who is part of the decision-making process? Well, here at our school, once we're informed by all those constituencies, here in the school, we are the ones who, as professors in the program, as leaders in the program, as instructors, even adjunct faculty, we have decision-making processes, and we go through a series of events. If somebody has an idea for an improvement, or would like to shift something, change a course, or add a new course, or look at the program design and reevaluate how effective it is, we start at the committee level. So each program in our School of Ed has a committee of people who teach in that program or are interested in that program. And anybody who wants to come is made aware of, the announcement goes out to everyone, and people who want to come and participate come to committee level meetings for the basic discussions. And